things that come into my head at the time. If anybody actually wants to add anything, let me know. Let's see if I can get the chat window up. Oh, so visible. Okay, I'll see if I can see them. Um, Give me a thumbs up, cause then I know if you're there or not, just so I can test it. But it's I keep seeing all this stuff about this living crisis stuff we're going on. What's weird is the focus on things like food banks and not how we got here. Um, See, it's not short term either, because you go back to the Blair years, and even prior to that, there was problems. Um, because one of the things that started to happen is this balancing on wages. Um, whether you're skilled or unskilled, they try to bring them up the same. Economies can't work like that. I don't care what anybody says. That's just an illusion. Because the problem you have, and I'll give you an example why it doesn't work, is the big push at the moment will be nurses, care workers, teachers. Um, they're service providers. So they're funded by working population. Now, where it sort of becomes obvious is when you listen to somebody. I was listening to someone earlier who works as a call center agent. Doesn't matter what type of call center they're doing, but they're a call center agent part time. Can't afford to work because her childcare is £50 a day. Um, the environment has all sort of changed to a point where it's out of sync. Um, Everyone's getting told they're entitled to the same um, standard of living, the same income, the same society life, and then they're going on things like TikTok. They're going on um, all these things that aren't real. They expect to get to this lifestyle. Um, Heaven forbid, I'll talk about the Harry and Meghan thing, which I haven't really spoke about too much, but that's a good example of things that are wrong. Um, they have a false sense of ownership and what they're entitled to. Um, and if you can't correct that, it will continue on this path because everyone's been, told they can have a big TV, big house, new car, all this sort of stuff. The the quality of life is much higher than the economies are geared up for. And like I said, if you've got somebody that can't go to work because they can't afford the care provision, you got a problem. But at the same time, you go back a few years, another generation. The other side of that was the fact that, let's face it, grandparents used to look after the kids. Then, obviously, after World War Two, there was, or during World War Two and after, there was the introduction of the sort of like nurseries that allowed parents to go to work, etc. It's all been capitalised as a profit. It's all been generated into industries. You know, the ratios of how many kids to an adult financially, when you lift the cost of that labour up, it no longer balances. Because the person that's paying for it is on a similar wage, which means if they're giving away 30-40% of their income to pay for childcare, defeats the object of going to work. You go, well, that's only 30-40%. Yes, but the other things are things like money for food, money for the bills, money for survival. And a lot of people aren't in an environment where that's sustainable. I'm going to check if this is right or not because I think this is getting. You're connecting over to my smart glasses. Let's see.